Immigrants with humanitarian or temporary legal status in the United States are at risk of being rendered effectively undocumented by the incoming Trump administration. More than 1.5 million people can currently live and work in the country protected both by long-time programs including Temporary Protected Status, TPS, and Biden administration innovations such as the parole processes for Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan CHNV migrants. Twilight or liminal statuses occupy a gray area between unauthorized presence in the United States and legal permanent immigration paperwork. According to data compiled by the Migration Policy Institute, the federal government has 3,390,295 grants of liminal statuses, though the number of people protected is almost certainly lower because some foreign nationals may be protected by more than one program. Without the protections granted by these programs, immigrants who are accustomed to living and working in the United States legally could lose those rights overnight, risking their livelihoods and potentially being detained and deported. Here are the programs that could be at risk under the second Trump administration. Temporary Protected Status TPS is either the most successful humanitarian immigration program in the federal government's arsenal, or a backdoor that's allowed uncontrolled immigration from multiple countries, depending on who you ask. In reality, TPS is not an immigration program at all. It was set up in 1990 amid increased migration from El Salvador, where death squads run by the U.S.-supported government were terrorizing a segment of the population. The program was approved with Salvadorans in mind, but it gave the federal government the ability to grant work permits and deferrals from deportation to nationals of any designated nation. Countries can be designated for TPS for up to 18 months at a time to avoid deporting people to somewhere going through or recovering from natural or man-made disasters. TPS holders in most cases can't adjust their status to become permanent residents, a feature of the 1990 immigration bill that's perpetuated twilight status for hundreds of thousands of people. The first Trump administration aggressively targeted TPS, arguing that it had lost its temporary nature, and using the example of El Salvador as proof. According to the Congressional Research Service, 180,375 Salvadorans are still protected by the program. TPS only protects nationals of a country who were physically present in the United States as of a certain date. For Salvadorans, that date is February 13, 2001, meaning Salvadoran TPS beneficiaries have lived and worked legally in the United States for nearly a quarter century. But Salvadorans are no longer the largest group of people in TPS. As of March, there are 200,005 active grants of TPS for Haitians and 344,335 for Venezuelans, after the Biden administration moved to include those countries in the program. That growth, there are 863,880 active TPS grants, according to the Congressional Research Service, could provide the future Trump administration more ammo to argue TPS has been misused. Since 1990, and more consistently since 2001, successive Republican and Democratic administrations have more or less automatically renewed certain key TPS designations, a practice the first Trump administration sought to end by terminating the designations.